My name's Caroline Taylor. I'm an attorney at Whitfield, Bryson Mason, and I practice personal injury law in Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to give you a little bit of information on car insurance because oftentimes we have clients that come in and they don't exactly know what type of coverage they have or what type of coverage they really need to make sure that they're fully protected. So there are a few things that you need to keep in mind whenever you're purchasing car insurance to make sure that you're fully protected. The first thing is obviously you want liability coverage. So what that means is that's coverage that basically protects you so that if you're at fault in a wreck, then your insurance will cover that wreck. Obviously, the more assets that you have as an individual, then likely the higher the policy you're going to want because your insurance is only going to pay up to the amount of the policy limits that you buy. So for instance, if you only buy $25,000 of insurance coverage, then that's the max that your insurance is going to pay, which means above and beyond that, if there is a lawsuit filed, then you could potentially be responsible for that personally. So you want to get sufficient coverage that if you're at fault in a wreck, which is the liability part of the coverage, that your insurance will cover any damages that you have caused. So the second type is what's called uninsured or underinsured coverage. And that's what I really want to focus on today is to stress the importance of this type of coverage. So uninsured and underinsured coverage basically kicks in if you're in a wreck, it's the other person's fault, but that person either doesn't have insurance or they don't have enough insurance to cover your damages. It can be really, really hard on clients when, for instance, they get hit by somebody who doesn't have any type of insurance, but then they have nowhere else to go. If that person that hit them doesn't have any assets that could potentially be hit in a personal injury suit, but they don't have their own coverage. So the way to protect yourself in that situation is if you get your own coverage called uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. So again, that's going to kick in if the person that hits you either doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. The third thing that you can look for and that may be important is just to buy what's called either MedPay or PIP, personal injury protection. This is a type of coverage that's usually anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000 that's just going to cover some of your medical expenses. If you have health insurance, then oftentimes it's not quite as important to have the PIP. That's why I'm saying that that's kind of third on the list of things to talk about. But it is still important to hopefully cover some of your medical bills. So to recap, you want liability insurance that's going to cover someone else if you're at fault in a wreck, and you really, really want uninsured or underinsured coverage. Do not waive that coverage. That's what's going to protect you if the person that hits you either doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. So hopefully this has been informative and you can make your insurance selections off of some of this advice. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below.